Welcome back to my first video of 2024, which is just mad, by the way. It's actually mad that it's 2024. I feel like mentally I'm still in 2023, trying to get out. 2023 was the worst year of my entire life. I had it rough. So rough in 2023. During 2023, I basically just turned 21. I had just started my adult years in probably one of the worst years of my entire life, which did not help me at all. I could go into details about all the bad things that happened to me, and yes, a lot of bad things happened to me, but that is not what is important right now. The thing that is important is that if you feel like me, I feel like a failure. I feel like I failed. I am 22 years old now. It's 2024. I'm 22 years old now. I feel like I have accomplished nothing. It's scary to me to think that I'm 22 years old and I feel like I've accomplished nothing. Like, you might look at me and think I have accomplished a lot, but when you have these standards that are being set not only by yourself but like other people around you, it just makes you feel so fucking shit. I really hit like a rock bottom in 2020. I really hit rock bottom in 2023 because I realized that like there are so many people out there that have all these things and that I don't have any of them. But then I had to remind myself, here I am in 2024. I made it through, which is incredible. I made it through. I've been learning how to not feel like a failure. So if you're feeling anything like I am right now, like you haven't accomplished much, maybe we need to look at the fact that maybe all these things that we're trying to accomplish aren't even for us. Like, there was a period of my life where I went through so much job seeking, and no one talks about how it really like brings you down when you don't get accepted to jobs, or like you don't get any job offers. I think I applied to like over 200 jobs in the space of a few months. Like, it's absolutely mad, and not a single, I got to interviews but none of them really took me anywhere. And I really looked at the stuff that I was doing, the people who I was around, the things that I was applying for, the things that I was trying to accomplish, and I looked at them and I thought, do I really want this, or am I just pressuring myself? This is something that I learned this year, not last year. This year I have learned that the reason why I had spiraled so bad is because I was trying to meet standards and I was trying to meet these expectations of other people, not for my own good. It was always for someone else's good. It was always for someone else's good, it was never for my own good. And I took the time off to sit here and really deep out what I want to do with my life, and none of what I was applying for, none of what I was like, who I was trying to be friends with, none of these people lined up to the life that I wanted to live. And then I'm sitting here wondering why I was spiraling so bad. It's because I was completely chasing the wrong dream, wrong life for myself and my mind. It's really easy to say, oh yeah, they're your parents or they're your friends, they just have these expectations for you because they love you and they care for you, but no one took the time to ask me what I truly wanted in life, and I just felt like I had to live by their means. And then I would come back at the end of the day and wonder why I was so miserable and why I felt like a failure and why all this stuff like was happening to me, like why no one was accepting my job offers. Like, I felt awful. And it really just comes down to, do you feel like a failure because you have been living for someone else your whole entire life? Like, what have you actually been chasing that makes you feel like a failure? Do you want this life? Because I realised that deep down, if you're chasing the life that you want, there is no possible option for failure, and you shouldn't feel like you're a failure if you're doing what makes your heart feel full. Then you wouldn't feel like a failure, even if you did fail in that moment. Let's say my dream is to do this, like I don't get very many views at all. I know that I'm not a failure because of that. I know that it takes time. But let's say, for example, you put me in a situation where I'm looking for a job outside of this and I don't get a job offer or I don't get an interview or whatever, that would immediately plummet me down and make me feel like I'm worthless and that I don't fit in society and that I'm not normal. you know? I feel like when people mention failure, you always think it's something negative first. Failing sometimes is the thing that you need to realise where you need to be. And that took me the longest time to realise, because yes, maybe I felt like the world was ending, and yes, I felt like I was failing at everything last year, but now that I've pulled myself out of it, I know that that was necessary, because now I had the push in the right direction that I need, basically. If you want something that bad, I feel like failure is not an option, which links back to, if you're on the right path, failure is not an option. Like, you possibly can't fail if you want it that bad enough. So really take a look at what you're doing and where you are in life and think, is this really where I want to be? Is it? Or am I just here because I ended up here because I was following someone else? Girl, if you feel like you have failed, trust me, you haven't. You've just started. I feel like when you see people online that have everything that you could want, or like, you know, you're a bit jealous or envious of them, and you look at them and you think, wow, they literally have the dream life. These people have had that plan for a long time, or they're just lucky. And because they've had this plan for a long time, and maybe me and you haven't, then that doesn't mean that you're a failure. It just means that you're starting at this time. Not when they started, but you're still starting now, and you can still end up where they are. It might take you a little bit longer, but you're still going to achieve whatever you want to. It's just going to be a little bit further on than them, and that really doesn't matter. I used to beat myself up when I would see like 18-year-olds, 16-year-olds driving, and me as a 20-year-old couldn't drive, and I just thought to myself, you know what? I don't know their circumstances and they don't know mine. So firstly, I can't sit here and compare myself to them, because they might have been handed that and I wasn't. Or they might have worked really, really, really hard and saved all their money and paid for driving lessons. We just don't know. You shouldn't let judgment bring you down. And I'm not just talking about judgment from other people, I'm talking about judgment from yourself. Like, we never know someone's circumstances, so we really shouldn't put ourselves in their shoes when we don't even know what their shoes are like. My friend came to me and she said, Dana, how do you know that, you know, all this isn't for nothing? How can you guarantee that you're going to succeed? I didn't know the answer to that. I was basically like, I have not a clue. I've thought on that question for a very long time, and I now have the answer. Are you ready for this? The answer is, you don't know. You simply don't know where this is going to take you. But what you should know is that if you keep trying, you will somehow get there. And it doesn't matter if you don't know how, when, where. As long as you try, it will get you there. This is a situation where it's very much like, is the cup half full or half empty? Will you live life with regret, or will you live life chasing what you truly want? You can sit here as an 80-year-old woman in the future and be like, oh, I wish I didn't do this, or I wish I did do this, and I wish I had a business, and I wish I went on those dates, and I wish I dressed up nicer. You had the power to change everything right now. Why not start now? Why not start now? Why can't you decide for yourself what you want? Because I was in the same boat. I genuinely would sit there and not have a clue. I would not have a clue. I had to do a lot of healing and a lot of research in order to realise where I needed to be. I want you to really deep it out. Why not me? Maybe you think that you don't deserve it. Maybe you think that you're not good enough for it. But if these other people are, why aren't you? You are very much deserving of it. You are very much capable of doing these things that you want to achieve. You just need to realise your full potential, and I hope that I can show you here that your potential is very much capable of achieving what you want to. So please know that you are loved, and that you are worthy, and that you are capable, and that you're literally very much capable of achieving whatever you want. And I'm going to leave it at that. I wish someone told me that when I was struggling, that I was very much capable of getting out of that. But at the end of the day, I'm here, I made it, you made it, we can make it through another year. We need to make sure that we're doing things to fulfill ourselves and no one else. If you take one thing from this video, please know that it's that you need to start living for you. That's it. That's it. I just wanted to say, I don't know who the fuck is going to watch this, but I just love the people that have been supporting me, my friends, all you people that care about me. I appreciate you more than words, more than anything could ever describe, because all these things have led me and given me confidence and led me to be the woman who I am now. Oh my god, where's the tissue in the back? I just realised there's tissue in the back. That really threw me off the mood. I just wanted to thank you all. Genuinely, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. I hope you enjoyed this little like diary entry talk thing. If you want me to do more, let me know. Bye everyone.